Good evening, everyone. Good evening and a warm welcome to everyone present here. It is my pleasure to address the gathering of esteemed guests and honor. GIBS Business School founder and managing director, Mr. Ritesh Goyal, CPO, Mr. Bharat Gopalan, and Dean Placements, Mr. Mohan Raj. Faculties and my dear friends, GIBS Business School offers AICTE approved PGDM and BBA courses from Bangalore University, providing students with a comprehensive education. GIBS Business School stands out with an extraordinary faculty celebrated for their unwavering dedication to the transformative learning by doing approach. We sculpt the future of industry titans through our signature programs like GIBS IRE School and GIBS Finishing School, propelling skills and knowledge to unmatched peaks of excellence. GIBS Business School has always been at the forefront of providing quality education and training to its students. It is heartening to see that the college is taking steps to incorporate digital competencies into its curriculum. This will go a long way in preparing students for the changing and evolving world and equipping them with the necessary skills to succeed in their careers. Now, I call upon the guest of honor and management to come and light the lamp and grace the occasion. I request all of you to put your phones on silent mode, please. I call my Dean Placements, Mr. Mohan Raj, to welcome the gathering and give a few words. Mr. Mohan Raj is a postgraduate in business administration, and his core passion has always been education and has garnered more than 2 decades of experience in this field. He believes that fitting the perfect trainings for passionate learners is a key to giving them an edge in the marketplace. He has been exposed to various responsibilities throughout his line of work, from executive strategy, talent management, sales and marketing, to operations planning and execution. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Swati. So, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I extend a warm welcome to each and every one of you here at the GIBS Marketing Conclave. Our gathering today is graced by the presence of our founder and MD, Mr. Ritesh Goyal, then Chief Process Officer, Mr. Bharat Gopalan, Mr. Ravi Agrawal, Mr. Pradeep, Mr. Sandeep, and our dedicated academics team and the corporate relations team. And our distinguished guests, the keynote speaker, Ms. Meher Taj, our esteemed panel speakers, Mr. Santosh, Mr. Satish Rajendran, and Mr. Gaurav Nigam, and the students. The next 90 minutes, we promise it to be a thought-provoking as our expert speakers will delve into the theme of exploring innovative strategies in tomorrow's marketing landscape. Now, we won't keep you waiting any longer as we know that you're eager for the insights and knowledge. I encourage you all to immerse yourself in the discussions and enjoy the rest of the evening. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mohan sir. I call my MD, Mr. Ritesh Goyal, to welcome the gathering. It is an absolute privilege to welcome the extraordinary Mr. Ritesh Goyal, founder and managing director of GIBS, to the stage. He symbolizes the spirit of dreamer, a visionary, and a winner. He wears many hats: chairman, managing director of the Goyal Group, entrepreneur, motivational speaker, philanthropist, personal branding business coach, consultant, and inspiring business leader. Now, please join with me in welcoming Mr. Ritesh sir to the stage.
Good evening, all. Ladies and gentlemen, esteemed guests, and my dear students. I am honored to stand before you today at this marketing conclave to delve into the exciting world of innovative strategies and techniques in shaping the future of marketing. And I'm sure marketing, as I always tell you, that marketing is the most important part. If you want to become the king of market, so please, dive into the world of marketing. And at GIBS Business School, Bangalore, we are deeply committed to preparing our students for dynamic and ever-evolving marketing landscape. Our innovative approaches, such as the IRE, Innovation Research and Entrepreneurship School, CPMP program through, CPMP is nothing but certification in personal mastery program through our finishing school. Uh, the learning by doing model, which we have implemented this year, and we are still into the process of implementing this model. And corporate is customer model, which is quite unique. Whereas a business school, this year onwards, we have started treating, rather than students, we started treating corporate as our customer and student as our product. And so we have to sell this product to our customers. And so this model are the forefront of this commitment. And I'll not take much of your time since we are already late. And thank you so much. Thank you, dignitaries, for being a part of our family. Thank you, students. You are always the stars. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Amazon founder Jeff Bezos says, there is no alternative to transformation. Visionary companies will carve its new strategy options for themselves. Those that don't adapt will fail. Ladies and gentlemen, esteemed guests and management, it is with immense pleasure that I stand before you today and welcome you to the Marketing Conclave event organized by GIBS Business School. This event represents a coming together of academia and industry, a fusion of knowledge and practice, and an opportunity for us to explore the captivating realm of innovative strategies in tomorrow's marketing landscape. In today's fast-paced world, it is essential for employees to keep up with the latest trends and technologies. With the advent of digitalization, there has been a shift in the way businesses operate. Organizations are looking for employees who possess the necessary skills to adapt to these changes and thrive in the emerging environment. We gather now to listen to the distinguished speakers from across industries, the experience and knowledge to widen our perspective and understanding of the innovative marketing strategies. I request my MD to welcome Ms. Meher. I call on the stage my keynote speaker for the evening, Ms. Saida Meher, Director, Brand Marketing and Communications at EY. Ms. Meher has over 22 years of experience and is listed as one of 50 marketing marvels, the best marketing and communication professionals in India, and among 100 power leaders of marketing in Asia. Meher is an award-winning marketer with nearly 2 decades of experience in B2B and B2C marketing with expertise in marketing strategy and marketing operations, possessing the ability to create new and distinguishing marketing and brand programs. Applying innovative thinking to all aspects of the go-to-market strategy with focus on action and outcomes that provide competitive market advantage to the brand. She's a strong communicator with the ability to influence top management and inspire the team. Her specialties include marketing strategy, operations, brand management, digital marketing, employer branding, change management, market research, advertising, corporate communications, events, and program management. Dear ma'am, I request you to please come on the stage. Thank you, ma'am.
Good evening, GIBS. How are you all today? Fine? Evening, sleeping time? No? Very less energy. The future marketing moguls. So how should their good evening be? Absolutely. Good evening. It gives me an immense pleasure to be standing in front of you all, ladies and gentlemen, distinguished uh, dignitaries here, the academia, the teachers, and the students who are the future of our country. So when your dean actually called me and said, ma'am, what would be the topic of your interest? And I was like, everybody is talking about Gen AI. Everybody is talking about influencer marketing. Everybody is talking about the latest technologies used in marketing, whether it is MarTech or thing. So what would be that one topic which would be serious enough to be discussed in a boardroom, but also fun to discuss with future marketeers? And when I pondered over and I thought nothing better than purpose-driven marketing. So what is purpose-driven marketing? Anyone? Well, to understand purpose-driven marketing, one needs to understand purpose first. In this era of high-tech digitalization and consumerism is really on the top, we really need brands, corporates, who are just not the mind, but heart and soul. So purpose-driven marketing is nothing but why a particular organization or a corporate exists. It is possibly the soul of your business. So one may say, why is anybody into any kind of business? It is to make money. It is to sell some kind of product or some kind of service. But that's not what is purpose. Every organization should actually have a purpose. So it is that why are you existing today? It's like, why, if it is GIBS, why is it over here today as an organization? Is it just to produce a lot of good marketeers, good HR students, or just good products for later for the corporates to utilize good resource? No, I'm sure your organization also has a product, right? Which are you all going out, and the product which is giving you those education. But apart from that, if you ask Mr. Ritesh, he will say, why? What is the real existence of GIBS? And that why is what is purpose all about. And every organization needs to have this. But then somebody could tell me, my purpose is only to sell. I would want to sell. I want to make money. But that is not all what consumers of today are looking for. Let me ask you, would you like to watch a movie which has just one actor? No, right? You want supporters, you want support actors or different kinds of people, different characters in a movie. I wouldn't like to watch. Similarly, organizations just do not exist merely to make money. They exist beyond that. And that is what is purpose-driven marketing. And many organizations are doing this really well. And you may ask saying that, ma'am, at the end of the day, it is for us to be profitable. As an organization, as a company, it's to be profitable. By being a purpose-driven, market-oriented company, can we be profitable? Let me tell you, enough companies have saved more monies by picking up the strategy of purpose-driven marketing. If I may ask you, what are the kind of companies that you want to join tomorrow? Some names. EY, why? EY is one. What else? What are the other companies? Let me hear some names from you. Deloitte, KMG, okay. What else? Infosys, Citibank, okay. You have all those people from here. They'll send you the placements. But apart from that, what is the actual companies that you're interested in? Louder. Your voice has to be heard in the boardroom. Your voice has to be heard on the floor when you're out in a corporate. So if you don't practice that from today, you'll not be able to do it there. So louder. You need to be able to articulate what you want. So what kind of companies do you want to join? Investment banking, okay. Okay. Private equity. But what kind of companies are these? Companies. Money, okay. What else apart from money? Why do you want money? Louder. I'm growing old, so I can't hear. So louder. Name and fame, what else? Come again, please. To utilize your knowledge to be utilized effectively. So let me tell you, each one of you sitting here will actually have a purpose in life. Even if you want, some of you your purpose might be a financial purpose to fulfill your financial needs. Somebody else's purpose may be to give back to the society. Somebody's purpose may be, he said, to utilize his knowledge to share with it. So each one of us has a purpose. Similarly, organization also need to have purpose. So some of the organizations you mentioned here are organizations with a purpose. So I can talk about EY since you mentioned EY. And what is the purpose of EY? The purpose of EY is to build a better working world. They are not saying we are here to make money. We are here to audit companies. We are here to give companies tax strategies, or we are here to create new technologies. What are they saying? It is something beyond this. It is to create a better working world. Similarly, when you pick up these kind of purposeless marketing things, it is about how an organization can give back to the society. Okay, and in the society, it could be anyone. It could be the consumers, it could be the employees, or it could be the society itself. So there are companies like, for example, when you talk, have you people heard of one Patagonia? Patagonia is again a sports wearable company. And their marketing strategy is a purpose-led marketing strategy. It's very different. What do they say? They say, please do not buy our jackets. They sell jackets, they sell wearables and shoes, but they say, do not buy our jackets. Why? Because too much of consumerism. People are just hoarding. So when the Black Friday thing, you're all aware of Black Friday in US, it's also catching up in India now. So what they wanted to do is they wanted to create a message saying, do not hoard. You buy it only if it is necessary. And of late, they're saying that Earth is their only stakeholder. It is not their investors. It is not their employees, but Earth is the only stakeholder, because they actually make things which are recyclable, but they also, even if you're building something from a recycled material, we're still using resources. So they give back all their profits in some form which is not getting invested back into the company, again back to the community, to the consumers, or to the society. You've all heard of Unilever. You must have seen the complete change and shift in the way Unilever ads are now. You know how Dow ads are, right? It's all about getting people's self-esteem higher. And similarly, if you look at a Ben & Jerry kind of an ice cream, it is all about diversity. Or if you're talking about Nike, you would have seen the Nike's ad, right? It is all about equality. So there is something more for an organization to exist beyond just making money. And when you pick up such kind of theme or such kind of a marketing strategy, if you say, ma'am, will we still succeed? Yes, we will succeed. Why? Because people like you want to join a company which has a purpose, right? Would you want to join a company which harms animals? Right? Or would you want to join an organization which does not believe in being fair to their consumers? Right? No. So you want a company with a heart and soul. So youngsters like you want to join companies which have these purpose. So that way they're getting the right kind of talent into their organizations. Similarly, consumers, about 77% of consumers, when researched by McKinsey, said they want to buy products from companies which are purpose-led, where they know how the money that they are generating is going back either to the society or to their employees or whoever. So similarly, when you talk about Southwest Airlines, their CEO clearly says employees first. He says, if my employees are happy, my customers will be treated well. So, and why am I discussing this with you today? What is the need for me to discuss with you today? With so much of technology in this era, everybody, like I said right in the beginning, we're talking about AI, generative AI. We're talking about chatbots, bots, robots. What is the difference between a robo and us, right? Do you think the robo has a purpose? Beyond what it is being created for, right? Does it have? But we as humans can make that difference, right? And similarly, when you all go out into the market and when you're strategizing, when you're creating your marketing strategies, you need to have that heart and soul in place and drive your marketing strategies, which are very beneficial, just not to the business, but to the entire ecosystem. The ecosystem could be of employees, the ecosystem could be of the society, the customers, your stakeholders. So hence, purpose-driven marketing is something which requires just not a beautiful storytelling, does not require creating experiences, but it requires you to be authentic. You have to be authentic and true to yourself when you're doing the kind of strategies you're making. So it becomes a role of each and every marketeer to have that consciences. Because if you people realize, marketing is one such department which actually has the bird's eye view of all the other functions in an organization. So when you take, for example, take my role. Because of the fact that I lead the entire external communications, or because of the fact that I head the corporate communications, I know what's happening in each and every aspect of the business. I have the bird's eye view. So it becomes my imperative to actually tell the senior management what is right and what is wrong. So marketing as a role is a very, very important function. You can come up with ads which are frivolous, which you may make money in short time. But if you have to create a brand which will sustain for very long, you need to really have that consciousness. And for that, you need to be authentic. You could have any kind of marketing strategy. You could use an influencer marketing strategy. You could say, I'm going to use a social media-driven marketing strategy, digital marketing strategy, or an integrated marketing strategy. Your strategy can be anything. But if authenticity, if the purpose of your organization is centered to your strategy, if you're anchored with that purpose, you will be able to really succeed. And brands have, in fact, really succeeded very well doing this. I mean, there are a few examples, even Starbucks for that matter. So when they changed their strategy, their sales actually went up by 50%. So it's very important for us to sit down, sit back and think, what is the kind of organization that we work for? Why are we here? What is the very need of our presence, our existence? And so when I'm building this brand, when I'm creating this brand, the brand can be agile. I'm creating, but I need to create that connect with the customers, right? So if I have to create that connect with the customers, a lie can sell for a certain number of period of time. But your truth, if you have a strong purpose, you're able to connect to your customer, to your consumers, and you will get that particular, first-time sales, second-time sales, people keep coming back. But when I'm talking about purpose-driven marketing, you should also be aware there will be controversies. Like, for example, when Nike actually came up with their Dream Crazy ad campaign, I don't know if you've all seen. If you've not seen, please do go back and see where they have used Nicholas over there, Nicolo in the ad. And when they speak about this ad, they actually connect to the Black Lives Matters. So that did get a lot of things. Some people actually went back and burnt Nike clothing, Nike shoes, and so on. Even the president of US was not very happy. But you need to be truthful to your purpose, and you need to be able to stand up for your purpose. So there could be controversies, but after that, the kind of sales Nike got was immense. Similarly, you would have seen recently, how many of you seen this ad by Apple? The Mother Nature one. You must have seen the Mother Nature thing. So that's complete. Here is again where they've used this actress Olivia. She comes as Mother Nature. And there is Tim Cook actually sitting and saying how well they're doing in their sustainability efforts. That's a beautiful advertising. And the way they've come to tell your consumers, saying what kind of sustainable products they are creating and how they're really creating those experiences which are developed on technology. So companies like this are really doing well on purpose-led marketing. It is just not about making money. It's just not about providing technology, but it is beyond doing that and how you are actually giving back to your ecosystem. So thank you so much for providing me this opportunity to talk on this topic, which is so very close to my heart. And I'm sure as you people all grow and move out of your college portals, I'm sure you people will be more innovative. Think of purpose-driven marketing as one of your strategies, and wishing you all the very best, and may GIBS have a purposeful meaning, and may you all go viral. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ms. Meher, for this insightful enlightening to us. I would like to ask the audience if they have any questions.
Question is, now we are aware of this purpose-driven marketing. So can you share a few examples of EY using it and a few brand campaigns of EY which are popular and effective?
Sure. So the EY believes in building a better working world. So what does EY do? EY actually looks at analyzing the global markets and giving insights to its organizations and so on. So when they do this, they keep purpose at their heart and how they could make this thing very easy and possible for their customers. And before that, what they say is every employee of EY has a purpose. So EY enables every employee of EY to actually follow their purpose and how they can actually marry their personal purpose and their professional purpose. So people are given that opportunity to explore their purpose. So internal to EY, there are a lot of trainings which actually happen where people can come to understand what is their purpose in life, basically. So not every one of us know our purpose in life. Maybe there are some really enlightened species amongst us who know their purpose, but some of us are still exploring. Right? Where is our purpose? Where does it go? And purpose can also change at different point in time. So EY actually enables its employees to understand their purpose in life and also gives them opportunities to follow those passions so that they can also work in the area of that passion. Like, for example, for me, providing opportunities to youngsters is my purpose in life. So my work as an employer branding head gives me that opportunity to create opportunities and to market those opportunities to youngsters and to the laterals in that way. So my purpose is getting married over there. So now currently EY is running a campaign called EY Faces of Future. So it is all about generative AI. So, but again, when they're talking about generative AI, what are they saying? It's just not about the technology. It is about having the human in the center of entire technology. So that is how their entire campaign, where they've really used about 200 all EY employees in the whole faces of future campaign, and they're saying how generative AI is enabling their employees to perform better. So it is just not a talk. They are getting all their employees trained on generative AI. So there is something called badges in EY. It's like getting your certifications. So everybody, right from the director to the people, associates, everyone has to get this thing. And just recently, I have completed a badge in AI. So I can talk on the subject because I have gained that knowledge. So they provide that kind of thing. So those are campaigns which are internal as well as external running. So that's the purpose. So how are you making a better working world? By enabling your people to think better, to think or come out with those solutions, to ask better questions, right? The whole thing is not about finding solutions. It is about asking questions. When you ask questions, you get those answers. The better the question, the better the answer. Thank you so much. Sure. Yeah. Questions, better the questions, better the answers. I didn't spend a lot of time in talking because I prefer an interactive thing with the students.
Hello. According to you, how does cost-based marketing help to boost the brand in comparison to CSR?
How does cost-based marketing in comparison to CSR? See, there are two different strategies again. So it completely depends on. See, your strategy can actually be a cost-based strategy, but the messaging can always involve a CSR thing. So the minute you say purpose-driven marketing, it does not become CSR. CSR, in some cases, can be an aspect of marketing. So it completely, again, now depends on what you really want to achieve out of it, okay? So I'm not saying you need to not utilize the other marketing strategies. It completely depends on your product. It depends on the circumstances you are there. So you may have to utilize 1 or 2, 3 strategies, but then the overall outlook could possibly have another strategy, which could be a purpose-driven strategy. So for example, you can't say that I'm going to just do a purpose-driven strategy and then not look at my costing, then not look at my pricing. You will have to still do that. Did you get your answer?
Good evening, ma'am. So, as we are students, we are always greedy on asking questions. So, I would like to know that what the brand like EY expect from marketing aspirants. Like, how should we add value to a company? What do you expect from us?
Okay, how can you add value? See, as young freshers entering into any organization, forget EY, it could be any organization that you're entering into. The thing that you need to have is have your attitude right, right? And what is when I say attitude right? Attitude is about how you can quickly learn and start actually giving back to the organizations. Nowadays, organizations really do not have that kind of time where they will wait for somebody to come learn and then start actually, giving inputs. So the whole thing is about when you are as a student, have your fundamentals right and be experimentative. So when you're looking at things, so today's, it's so much of mobile and other things. So in everything that you're seeing, see what is the learning that you're getting. How can you relate it actually in a marketing environment of an actual organization? You're all the Gen Z and you're all on mobiles and you're all technology savvy. And organizations like EY are actually legacy organizations with people who are there in the organizations for 30, 40 years. Our the current CEO has spent 40 years of his life in EY itself. But you people have knowledge on your hand right now. So the whole aspect is how can you whatever your learnings are there, your experiences, how can you actually convert it into applications? That's very important. And just because EY is professional servicing organization, or because A is an FMCG organization, or because organization like Infosys is a technology organization, that doesn't mean that the same old marketing tactics that they have been using before will work. What you need to see is you need to be quick on your feet and try to correlate. This is a culture of meme culture, how memes are actually being used in marketing, how influencers are being used in marketing. There will be people who, if you go into the corporates, they'll say, hey, this is a B2B organization. I don't think the influencer will work here. Sorry. Lines are actually blurring between a B2B and a B2C. But how would you use the same influencer marketing might depend how you, what kind of influencer you pick up, the kind of language possibly use. So it's only the tactic which will get differentiated, not the strategy per se. Done? Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for helping the students with their questions. In addition to our esteemed guest speaker, I would like to extend a warm welcome to our panelists for the discussion. Topic for the discussion would be Building Tomorrow's Brand Narrative, Inclusive and Sustainable Marketing. Our first speaker for the day is Mr. Santosh Kumar, Innovation Head Entrepreneur, Executive Board YLC, Emma. I would request Mr. Goyal to hand over a bouquet of flowers to the... He is a head of innovation at leading bank, COO of CoQuest Media Venture, CEO of DigiBooster, co-founder, CEO at Sportsplay, alumni of IIM Bangalore, Young Leaders Council, Emma, Harvard Business Review, Advisory Council, cyclist, and International Leadership Innovation Excellence Awardee. Our second speaker for the day is Mr. Satish Rajendran, a Senior Executive Director and Head at Knight Frank and Global Board of Director at CoreNet Global. I would request Mr. Bharat Gopalan sir to hand over a bouquet of flowers. Senior business leader and INSEAD alumnus with over 21 years of regional and international experience in corporate real estate for occupiers, developers, government and investors, heading facilities and asset services for Knight Frank, responsible for P&L and overall performance of services, business including leading teams to formulate and implement growth strategies. He is a part of the Indian Advisory Board and APEC Board, working closely with global teams to take the business to the next phase of growth by providing strategic leadership. Our third speaker for the day is Mr. Gaurav Nigam, Marketing Head India, Enterprise Business at Cisco Systems. I request Mr. Bharat Gopalan sir to present a bouquet of flowers. Mr. Gaurav is an alumnus of MICA and presently working with Cisco Systems as Marketing Head for Enterprise Business in India. In the past, he has worked with strategic marketing functions at Dell, Infosys, and Wipro. Mr. Gaurav has deep expertise across the spectrum from brand management, B2B marketing to AI and emerging technologies for co-marketing. Lastly, our very own professor, AVR Mahadevan. I would request Mr. Mohan Raj to kindly present a bouquet of flowers. His specialization is marketing and sales management. Education is Masters in Chemistry from Sri Satya Sai Institute of Learning, PGDBM from the Institute of Public Enterprise, PhD from Jain University in the area of retail sales management, experience in the domains of channel management, sales strategy, sales promotion, was in inception to implementing for 11 years across the formats in telecom, insurance, Software industries like Airtel, Tata Communications, HDFC, and Geneva Software Technologies. A year in customer relationships in the ASW cloud solutions domain. He has been teaching marketing postgraduate programs for the last 15 years at ISME, Jane University, Christ University, and GIBS Business School. Dear all, I welcome you all to the stage. I encourage the audience to actively participate in the discussions and ask questions and gain knowledge with all the expertise right here. Thank you.
Good evening, all. As the topic says, tomorrow's marketing landscape, my first thought was those people who have seen a lot of yesterday and today would be the right people whom we can probably take the expertise and the kinds of outlook they have for how we can save each of the brands. That's where our entire focus was. Very fortunate to have three people who have had wonderful experiences and wonderful, I would say, contribution to the ecosystem that they are part of. Each one was being read out for their profiles. They have the kinds of insights that they can give us the right perspective of what we should look forward to. Like Mr. Gaurav or Mr. Satish or Mr. Santosh, in their respective domains is what I would try to understand for probably their respective brands is the first thing which I would probably want to have. I would start with Mr. Gaurav. Mr. Gaurav, Cisco, a brand I need not have any introduction to any of the people, is now ranked number 12 in the best of the brands in the country, in the world. How would you manage being the marketing head for the Indian channels? How would you manage to protect this kinds of an intensity of the brand and the kind of offerings with the kind of evolving competitors and the kinds of evolving customer choices is what I would first like to know from your side. Cisco being the Cisco, what it is for. What is your outset for that?
I think for any brand, as Meher was also mentioning, a legacy brand which has been into place for quite some time, it's always a challenge whether to preserve your legacy or whether to stay ahead of the times, being relevant at all times. So it's always playing between these dichotomy. And Cisco, it has at a very unique place right now where we are moving from a traditional hardware products and platforms player to a SaaS-based organization. We would like to, and we are already moving towards being one of the software organizations, in the likes of Salesforce, Adobe. I think one of the differentiating factors what has stood out for the brand has been sustainability. Cisco is right now at, I was looking at some of the rankings, at number 1 in terms of sustainability brand. And it has used it as a unique differentiator across the board, where I would like to cite one example. It is, I think, one of the very few brands which gives you a 10-day holiday or leave, which is called as time to give, in which you can apply this and you can actually volunteer with any NGO or any other charity organizations. And supposedly, you contribute to some man hours of work, which result in $100. Then Cisco will match that amount. It will also donate that amount to that NGO. Plus, it's a 10-day paid leave, which is given. So which shows that it is encouraging the employees to be the true brand ambassadors of sustainability as well. So this is very unique, which I saw.
Like what Ms. Meher was talking about, the purpose of the organization in this.
Purpose of the organization is very clear in that sense.
Thank you. And one simple thing is normally the moment we say brands, the first thing whenever I teach my students or have been teaching for the last 15 years is the first case that comes to is the B2C products, which we can very easily see where the width and the strength of the brands are very visible for the B2C brands, right? For you being a B2B brand and the kinds of, I would say, the kinds of pressure that probably a brand would undergo, like I said in the previous things, what kind of a difference does it make from between a B2C and a B2B?
All right. I think my esteemed panelists will also agree that at the end of the day, whether it's B2B or B2C, on the other side of the table is a human. And humans have their own traits. There is a consumer behavior. There is a way they take buying decisions. Moment you are able to track that, you are able to understand the buying decisions, you are able to understand the business models, you are able to understand the pain points, then I'm sure you are very close to providing the right solution to the customer. So that is what we have been doing. Now, where the boundaries are blurring over here is a lot of brands, and especially Cisco, works with a strong partner ecosystem where we do not just follow sell to approach, but also sell through approach. So we have 40,000 partners globally. So what we try to position our messaging is how the end consumers will use or benefit from our technology. Then our messaging aligns with like a B2C brand, and it is, easily understandable. It seems more relevant, and many a times inside the boardroom, it pushes our case that we get more partners and customers on board. So that has helped us.
Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot, Gaurav. Coming to Mrs. Satish, so you have been, as I went through his LinkedIn profile, I could find out the depth of the expertise that he has had in the real estate. If I were to put it very simply, the kinds of listings that he has got and the kinds of honors that he has got for his expertise are fascinating. That prompted me to ask a question. I mean, the moment we say real estate consulting, the kind of people who look forward for that kind of consulting happen to be either me or probably GIBS. I mean, what I mean is someone who is an individual who needs to have the best investment as probably an organization that also will look for the kind of things. And using a simple fundamental, something like what Ms. Meher was also talking of, is the kind of people whom you target. How do you manage these two seemingly diverse segments? Talk to them in the same tone, or probably talk to them with the same message? And how do you make sure that both these people are actually having the strength of belief and trust in the kind of brands that you have?
Very good evening, everyone. I'm glad you touched based about real estate. Not everybody know what exactly the real estate we are talking about. We, as an organization, the way how we have big consultants like KPMG, PwC, McKinsey. Very similarly, we are also called as international property consultants globally. There's very 4 or 5, right? And we do handle this complete real estate solutions. So fundamentally, first thing what I must say is this industry is very, very big. In India alone, we are $1.3 billion market. Unfortunately, we do not have a qualified professionals to run and manage this kind of a segment, which not everybody are aware. Not many institutes are aware. Very few in India, they have started like MIT and IIM 1 or 2 subjects. But otherwise, we as an expert, we as an advisors to government, we are promoting, most of the institutes to bring this kind of, education, because it's not just about real estate, corporate real estate. What we do is not just about, build or manage. We do bring funds. We do manage end-to-end solutions. And we are also a research and knowledge partners on basis of us, the governments, organize many things.
So that I could see when I saw the kinds of relation you have with Coordinate, for example.
Absolutely.
Coordinate was the kind of things that we go through each time.
Absolutely.
And the knowledge which you contribute for them, and that
Very true. Coordinate Global is the only global organization which brings, formal education in terms of corporate real estate. There's also another organization, RICS, which again are UK based. They all are 160-year-old, 100 plus year old. Even our organization is 130 plus year old. Very important to bring back to the topic. I go what Mayor said. Irrespective of whichever segment you are, whichever organization you are, you should have a purpose. Whether it's local purpose or global purpose. We also have a purpose. We work responsibly in partnership to enhance the values and employees as well as the environment. And that is what driving our organization also when it comes to how you represent as a brand, our values and behaviors, whether it's individual or whether it's as a team, a collaboration to succeed, or when you make the difference, how you represent and act at the same time as an organization, what is that you plan to do to advise your clients. And we have a very diversified clients. All four of them, Ernst & Young, Citibank, or Cisco, or for that matter, all of them are my clients. We provide, if you want 50,000 acres of land space, we identify, we do the valuations, we do the advisories, what is needed to do it, the entire infrastructure. We also construct, we also bring down all IBMs and all the MNC organization to India, plus we also manage. So it's end-to-end solutions. How are we going to represent? Purely with core values. And more importantly, we are aligned to the inclusivity of sustainability, what you said. Today, we all know globally everywhere. Earlier, also there was ESG, governance. But earlier it was not measured. Now it is becoming a more mandatory. So every organization has to be aligned to the global purpose and values, and then bring your innovative offerings to all your clients.
Just one thing is that I noticed Bangalore and Mumbai are one of the fastest growing, fastest rising prices in the country. 30% has been the average rise in Bangalore. People are probably becoming richer. And so the reason probably their expectations are also going up. That kind of a thing to be able to match requires a lot of preparations, a lot of drive for you to be able to know that and prepare it well, like what we said. As we go towards tomorrow, probably the scope and the kind of breadth that we need to look for, probably you can just give us the way that you
in fact, I must say, not just Mumbai and Bangalore, globally, the economy, as we all know, it's all moving towards it's moving from West, from Europe, and now it is all in Asia, right? In Asia, very clearly, it is India and China. Yes, there are spillovers are going to Southeast, Asia and the rest of the world, and some parts in Australia. But the beauty of it is, while it is slowing down in US, but let's not forget, but the talent pool, the overall in terms of the growth, the governance, and also the way how India has been promoting its brand everywhere through our current government. I think India is a country, everything is moving in terms of growth because we are still developing country. We have lots of volumes in terms of infrastructure, not everything for that matter. As you know, after HR, real estate is the largest in terms of overall, contribute to the economy, right? Mumbai was always an expensive city. We all know that, right? As we just released our research report, commercial space has slowed down, because post-COVID, there's lots of flexible flex spaces come as we were discussing prior to this session, but lots of flexibility for organization, 4-day, 5-day, 3-day, but looks like it is going to come back to the original space. The adoption in terms of office space, overall today is 600 million square feet. Of which undoubtedly now, as you know, Mumbai is all about BFSI segment, like city banks and all of that. But southern part of it, there's a volume, all the IT sectors or R&D sectors or semiconductors. It's further, people are going for large spaces, not in Hyderabad. The only difference in Bangalore was because we had a little bit of unstable government, as we all know, I don't want to overly say, the spillover because of the time taken for all the approvals, all because of that, the spillover all moved into Hyderabad, Chennai, went back to Pune. When Pune overloaded, then went back to Gurgaon. So that is how, but one thing stood was Bangalore. It's purely because of the talent pool what we is available here, and the any organization can afford to invest blindly because it's an auto-run city. The only thing is, while there is a consolidation by happening in the office spaces, 30%, 25 to 30%, but the quality of the workspace is all increasing because of wellness. The sustainability is playing a major role globally, and that is something every organization is aligned to those global, sustainable-driven organizations. One segment which is doing really well is residential. Even post-COVID, everybody know that we all have realized how important is our houses, right? Nothing could be better than any other place. You want to be safe in your offices. Technology, digitization, everything is coming out well. And that is what I'm saying, the offerings has really added value. The luxury space in terms of luxury residential has gone up to 25 to 30%.
We strangely have 3.5 bedrooms, 2.5 bedrooms. Once we have this work from homes becoming so popular in this.
Very much. I think today our landlords and developers like Prestige and Brigade or RMZs or the funds, the Blackstones and Everstone and all these funds. Now, if you see, they are known as a global partners today. No more what you used to call as, Salapuria, the landlord. They used to call as a landlord, a developer. Today, they all match the international standards because they've adopted. They have adopted to what the occupiers need. They adopted to what Ernst & Young wants, or Citibank or Cisco. They are upgrading the overall systems, the innovation, the wellness into your...
So too much of competition probably for the kind of people that they have.
See, competition to hai.
So coming back to my fundamental question, what you're giving is a more broader, probably more apprehensive scenario for someone. If I was working for a particular brand in question, how would a brand live up to with this kind of changing environment that we have?
See, as I said, sustainability, how inclusive you are in what you promote, irrespective of whatever innovative solutions and offering you provide, you need to be transparent in your approach. You need to be, knowledgeable in what you speak. Okay, it's not about I'm so and so big. It's all about what you offer, your relationships, how you evolve, from organically, how you grow with them. Those advisory has to be very clear and straightforward to it. As a competition, if you see, it's all about people driven, right? As an individual, what are you? How are you representing your brand? How are you, talking to your clients? How are you gaining the trust? It's all about trust again, right? How you build that trust, by being transparent, by being giving the right advisories to them, the right components of what's happening across. Even if you are not good, if you rather say it is not good, but this is what I would like to advise, only then you will be a differentiator in the market. Competition, every organization is same. We all provide the same organization. But one thing which differentiates is the values, what Mayor did mention.
So coming to Ms. Santosh, taking up from what Ms. Satish has said, you specialize in the mentoring and probably right from creation of the startups to the mentoring of them and then probably taking them to the success path for that. Quite a few times it does happen. Since we are talking about something of the marketing, more of market-oriented than the spirit-oriented. If I can probably excuse me for that kind of a statement. A lot of facades are put up probably to say that I am successful is more important for me than the reason why I have had a startup in my hand. If I can probably call that, is that the focus is more on what we are measured against and how we can win over the others, rather than like what the very word which you talked of, purpose for which I have established. Do you find that there is a deviation in the kind of, just asking for the kind of inputs that I would want from you is, where would the startups focus first and how would they start, or when they would start focusing on the external factors in the futures, and then they can take it up for that?
Sure. Good evening, everyone. I'll probably start with a caveat or a disclaimer. Since I work with a global bank, so I have this restriction that everything that I express here will be my personal opinion, not the organization's opinion. I have a dual role that I do. As an organization, I look at innovation and investments. That's my role. But on the personal end, I'm a big believer of paid forward. I've been benefited. Also, I keep benefiting even today, working with a lot of startup entrepreneurs and being an entrepreneur myself. I've built a company around influencer marketing and sold it. So I know a bit of martech, I would say. I've gone through the challenge of starting with a purpose and deviating as well. So startups are generally, if you look at it, Darwin's theory applies clearly to startups. It's the survival of the fittest, right? Eventually, what matters to every organization is that can you survive and thrive in a VUCA world? How many of you know of VUCA world? Can't hear you. What's VUCA? VUCA? Absolutely right. Brilliant. So the professors have done a great job on getting you guys into the VUCA world, right? So the world is ever evolving, right? It's a dynamic situation that we are in. And for the startups, right, and you might start with a purpose, but your purpose for any organization, not just startups, the purpose also has to evolve, right? Let's think of the oil marketing companies, right? The earlier focus was to bring in enough oil and energy to the consumers, but today it's not just that, it's green, right? You need to be sustainable. Are you doing enough to keep the world, keep the earth green enough, right? So every oil company today is focusing on that. Even if you look at what Satish was telling about Knight Frank, is that there are LEED certifications, right? So there's gold, platinum standards that people are looking at. Is my building green enough, right? Am I damaging the earth? Am I sustaining in my premises, right? The same thing will apply to the startups as well, right? While you focus on being relevant in your purpose, but you also need to match up to the competition that's out there. And startups have a challenge in surviving because it's not just my purpose. I also need to have enough money to pay my salaries tomorrow. I also need to have a product that the consumer continues to like and buy, right? I also need to bring in investors into my fold. I also need to hire the right kind of talent that I need for my organization. And can I do this? Let's take an example of Zomato, right? Now, or even Amazon for that matter, right? Any of these e-commerce companies today, their challenge is that it's not just delivering a product, it's also delivering in the right kind of packaging. If it is too much, people go into social media and crib about the packaging. If it's too less, the product gets damaged. You need to maintain the right kind of balance there that the product doesn't get damaged, but I'm not using an unrecyclable product or unrecyclable packaging there. At the same time, if my delivery gets delayed, we do crib. If I'm pushing my delivery boys to drive faster, there's a hazard. So I need to keep maintaining that balance. And the only way that I can do is by communicating it in the right manner. A lot of initiatives that people do take in a startup world is that they keep very active social media profiles. They are answering the clients. They are answering the customers' requirements. Even if there's a complaint, there's always they don't hesitate in answering that. Right? They take it head on because they want to really pass on the message that we are listening to you. That's very important in the current world of marketing. Right? You need to listen and also communicate all the initiatives, all the steps that you're taking. It's okay to fall down. The important aspect is that can I raise up with my chin up?
So, just further thing is probably a final statement. When the moment we start talking about this startup, we are concentrating on, if I can call it baby. A baby versus a giant kind of a thing, a David versus Goliath kind of a fight. It would probably give a kind of a shocker. It would probably give a kind of question of survival for the startups, right? Like the intensity with which you go into talking out to the customers or probably answering them or probably being able to tell them is the best part. But in general, what is the kinds of spirit these startups have? Entrepreneurs, when they are, how ready are they, as per your observations, to get into the fight, if I can call it, of sustaining their brands? Is it that they learn it by experience or become more prepared to be able to get into the kind of entrepreneurial business. That's right.
The primary trait that every founder and every organization has in the startup ecosystem is that you'll find them to be really fearless. Right? Because
That's very good.
every day is going to be a new day. Every day there's going to be a challenge. And you cannot anticipate every challenge that comes your way. The only way that you can survive and thrive is by being fearless. You don't worry about what can happen to me next. You look at, can I convert that into an opportunity, right? Every debacle is an opportunity for marketing my brand, right? There's nothing called as negative publicity is what we say in the marketing world, right? So make use of it and take the right actions, communicate those right actions, right? So if you look at what happened in the last maybe couple of years with Zomato, Swiggy, there have been a lot of debacles that they've faced. What have they done? They've come back with utmost intensity to correct themselves, and they put it out, right? And they're fearless to put it on social media because you know that there are going to be people who are going to troll them. There are going to be backlash, but you don't get scared of it, right? So what you look at it is, can I still build my brand around these things and show that I'm a very dynamic organization. I'm still trying to build. Now look at Zepto, right? I mean, a 10-minute delivery, right? When that started happening, there's a lot of backlash. People said that do Indians need grocery delivered at 10 minutes, right? The question is it really required to have that kind of convenience vis-a-vis what hazard they're going to put on people in terms of their delivery personnel or in terms of the product marketing that they're going to push through, and also the funding, I mean, the utilization of the funds, right? Typically people crib about, are startups really using the funds in the right way? Are they burning the money? That's the question that we keep looking at. But what startups also do is they create category leaders now, right? So when you are fighting with a larger organization, you're not just worried about building the organization, you're also looking at, can I be the category leader now?
The customer is, maybe customers can be different to build up to me to go to a bigger thing. That's right. One question for you, Gaurav, is since we were talking about social media's expressions and all, quite a few people do talk, and I do come across this kind of questions. A lot of people put up a false image on the social media. Okay, one of the HR probably had these kinds of problems. Everything which you put on LinkedIn is everything positive. Everything you put on Instagram is everything positive. And the reality is what they're trying to project is a facade. Probably if Sujit Singh had been there, he would have been the right person probably to help that. But in general, how will you take, if you were to recommend someone for a HR outsourcing kind of a job, how would you evaluate a person to probably offer that kind of an individual to an organization as an employee? Is there any way we can find out the reality about individuals in general? An individual brand, if we can call that. That's how it is. No, you can throw it.
Oh, yeah, it's working now. Yeah. So it's very interesting. And in the marketing world specifically, what I've seen, we have this exercise called brand building. And then we also have something called leadership branding. If we talk about these two aspects, we believe that there are certain components which go on building a brand. And same holds true for building a personal brand. So I think if I were to see from the lens of a personal brand, I would say it's a good exercise that someone has put out or made efforts to build his or her LinkedIn profile. Now, of course, it depends on the organization evaluating that person's candidature to take due diligence and right steps to measure that person, evaluate that person in complete authenticity before hiring. That's their discretion. But you need to still give it to that person has made efforts. And there's no harm, because ultimately our lives is a sum total of learnings and inspirations we derive from people around. Forget about social media. Even when we write articles, people quote leaders. Even when we publish reports or media bites, we quote leaders.
We have data to support our arguments.
Exactly. So LinkedIn just gives us another platform to follow people, tag people, quote people. It's just another platform. However, I think somewhere we should always motivate people that whatever you put out there, ultimately you have to stand out as that person, fearless, confident, purposeful, and ambitious in all the actions you do. Because people are observing you directly or implicitly or explicitly and implicitly. And if you can match that, and I've seen many people who walk the talk, as we say, they're street smart, they walk the talk. Then people will, one personality of yours will only increase your followers there. People who follow you there will always want to meet you in real life.
Wow, that's a lot of things which you have to probably look forward to. You have been a guide for our students also in their CPMPs and kind of thing. That would be a wonderful input for all of us to be able to do this kind of thing. Anything else which you would want to add?
Don't mind adding to Gaurav. See, in my organization, I generally encourage the leaders to be in forefront in the forum, but act responsibly, because see, they carry the tag of the organization. We have to be very careful as to how they represent, what they represent, and what do they share. Because organization can be at stake. Any wrong information, especially we are organization, we publish all research reports, the numbers, the stats. Any wrong representation could backfire. So we generally, what I advise is we form a group, brand champions. We do provide mentorship, or we do advise them what should be your level of posting, how you have to, who are your target audience. And at the same time, it's all about marketing, right? Why we do all that, even LinkedIn or wherever it is. Ultimately, you also to promote your brand and your services, right?
A personal brand probably is more important for that.
Absolutely, both individual brand as well as the organization. Only when you have credential, you can become an individual brand. For that, what are those right credential you need to have? If you are into technology, do you have a right qualification which matters to build your individual brand? Very important. If you many of them put their designation, multiple designation next to their names, right, including me. That is called marketing individually. When I speak to Gaurav, I should know that Gaurav is a qualified professional. When he posts something, then he advocates what he does, and he also give a authenticity of the organization is there. So very similarly, very important to have a guidance to the people who wants to. We should encourage. At the same time, when you do such thing, you should have a bigger responsibility with accountability to ensure that the brand is not put at stake. Otherwise, it will backfire you. And again, marketing, I keep telling my marketing team, right? Because while everybody roll up to me, very important, you can't once and for all become a rocket thing, right? Sales, marketing, marketing is not, see, the generation has changed. Gone are those days that, marketing, you are a perfect marketer, people blindly go by marketing. Today, all are mature enough to understand. You go by, earlier, golf, you go and do your business. Right, or thing. But today it's different. They are very sensible. They know whom are they talking to. Are we talking to the right person? Are we talking to the right organization? Are we telling the truth? Are we advising the right thing? Everything goes around and comes back. At the same time, it's very important to have a common goal, purpose with common goal, and to bring that one organization, one culture is very important with irrespective of any segment. But for everything, you need to have passion. It's, a best marketer can be as simple as anybody. As long as you know what you're talking. You heard the Dabawala, no? In Mumbai, Dabawala.
Dabawala, yeah.
He hardly knows English. I'm talking about 24 years back. I heard his speech. One message was very clear to me. Irrespective, all he knew was he knew his product very well. He never shied away. Whatever he wanted, in between he also spoke in Hindi. He said, Satish Saab, as long as I'm communicating what I want to communicate about my brand, doesn't matter which language, which accent I speak. If you're conveying a message to your audience, that's fine. Absolutely, it's true. Now you see, you give a fake accent, they say, yaar, ye to bahut chota hai. Let's see who talks. So life has become very practical and very straightforward. But for that, you need to have your self-confidence, self-motivation. At the same time, make an effort, make an attempt, mistakes, no problem, just keep going. And you need to have a right mentor for you to take it to the next level. Thank you.
That's a wonderful statement. Just as we are actually closing the time, any concluding remarks, statements that each one of you can probably, our, uh, our students would be expecting a lot of things that they can probably carry it forward for each of thing. Santosh sir, more for the entrepreneurs that we spoke along about IRE, the goal of what we actually do. For anything on the inputs for entrepreneurship and things would be a wonderful input from you.
Sure. I'll make it a twofold advice. My first advice to you all students are like, build your brand on LinkedIn. Don't shy away. You have to be marketing yourself, right? If there's one job that all of us have to invariably do, whether interested in or not, is always selling. I always sell to my spouse. I always sell to my kids. I always sell myself to everyone in the world. You have to keep selling, right? So don't shy away from putting yourself on LinkedIn. So there are 2 or 3 ways that you can do is one, keep posting relevant content, right? Content is going to be the king. It will continue to be the king. Even with AI taking it over, you might be a prompt engineer, but still it's content that's getting driven out, right? So you have to keep creating good, decent, valuable content for your audience, right? Even if there are no likes today, it doesn't matter, but keep doing that. The second bit is, LinkedIn is a very, very powerful platform, right? Like Satish was mentioning, if you have to get the right kind of mentors, it's not just within these 4 walls, right? You have to go out and seek mentors. And the best way to seek mentors, I have done it and it works beautifully, is by helping others. And I'm putting a pause so that this drives into you all. Always put out, whenever you meet someone, always ask with a question that, what way can I help you? Right? Even if it's a very senior professional in the industry, it's okay, right? You might do a menial job of some data crunching for him. It is not menial. You might think it is menial, but it is valuable for him. And once you do that, he or she will be a direct access to you. And that senior professional can drive your career with a rocket booster. So the only way that you can achieve that is by asking the first question. What is the question I asked? How can I help you? Right? Is there some way that I can help you, sir? Right? Be fearless. You don't have to be worried about what response comes in. Even if 3 people say no, a 4th one is always there to say yes to you. Right? You've seen it in your personal lives, how many no's and yeses you get. Right, left on Tinder, you must have experienced that. So, but that's the same thing on LinkedIn as well. You might get a few no's, but you always get a yes. All you need is one yes that can change your career, right? So that's a brief advice I want to give you on using LinkedIn as a platform for your own personal marketing. Build your mentors out there. The other thing about entrepreneurship, right? You are sitting, you guys are really, really lucky, right? When I started entrepreneurship, thought process for me, it was in 2008-9. And it took me 4 years to convince myself, my family, that I can step out from my corporate job, a cushy job, and do something on my own, right? But you guys are lucky because you are in the country which is growing at breakneck speed, right? The world is looking at you, and the policies are being created where funding is becoming much more easier, right? You have the market that is ready to look at a new brand, right? Can you think of 10 years back, 20 years back, could someone challenge a HUL? Could someone challenge a PNG? Very, very difficult, right? But today, a small brand with no funding can still sell a D2C product to you, right? As shoes are being sold, you don't just look at Nike, right? You look at newer brands, flatheads, right? There are enough and more platforms. It could be a Shark Tank, it could be 25 other TV shows that are coming out where you can go and build your own brand out there, right? So don't just look at your career as a corporate job. Entrepreneurship is a career, right? Become job creators, not just job seekers, right? Because you could be hiring your friends in the college and build an organization out, right? How many of you want to do entrepreneurship? How many of you are looking at it? Raise of hands, right? So believe me, you guys are really, really lucky. There's government policy that will give you a decent seed fund of 25 lakhs easily today, right? It's not a big amount. But that 25 lakhs can help you set up the organization and start things moving forward, right? And there are consumers who are looking to buy new products, who are looking to experience new products. So it's much, much better to become a job creator today, because some of you mentioned money is the motivator, right? Ask your MD, right? Who's the biggest money spinner here, right? None of us. It's the MD, right? right? So there's a lot more money that can be made in entrepreneurship than in a corporate job, right? And that is today it's much more easier to jump into that bandwagon. And you have your professors who can be your mentors. You have a brilliant organization that is bringing in a lot of speakers today. And I've seen your LinkedIn post that you've been doing a lot of these activity over the last few months. I know that your students are lucky to get those kind of connects with the corporate world.
Thanks
Make
a
use
lot.
of it not just to find job, but look at how can I become a job creator. Best wishes to you all.
Thank you very much. Thanks a lot.
I'll keep it simple because he's already told what I had to also tell. But one thing I must one is compliment, one is I'll not say advice. My advice. How I have followed it. First compliment is I didn't know GIBS. I got to know because I accepted a request from one of your students. Right, that speaks volumes about how you have connected in the industry, the LinkedIn forums, and I admire that person who reached out to me with lots of passion. What I want to tell is there are still leaders who will respond to you. Don't give up. Continue to do that. One. And two is irrespective of whatever trades you wear, whichever hat you wanted to wear, don't forget one thing which will stand you out is your value systems, integrity and value systems. If you have this, and if you have passion and if you have hunger to grow, trust me, sky is the limit. Thank you.
So Santosh and Satish have all virtually covered most of the things. So I'll just keep it something which you might already be aware. But one thing is that these days organizations are moving away from just selling products or services. We are combining them to sell solutions. So world is looking for you to suggest them solutions, and they are very experimental in nature. Having worked in Infosys, I know how many lawyers work there. You might just think that it's predominantly a technology company, engineers work there. We have lawyers, we have people joining the DX team who are NID graduates. We have people joining from journalism. So interdisciplinary and cross disciplines are welcome because they enrich an organization. So people are looking whatever you can bring into the table to provide solutions to the customer. So please believe in your strengths. You definitely have something which you can add value to the organization irrespective of your background, as long as you're passionate about it. And second thing, being marketeers, we all need to be storytellers. Many a times we just get so busy in finishing the PGDM syllabus, doing the assignments, that we forget that storytelling and communication is the key. Otherwise, everything is in your mind, but you may still not have that bond with the customer. So that is important. Try to develop these age-old skills, evergreen skills of communication and storytelling will become very handy for you to grow. All the best.
Thanks a lot, Gaurav. Thanks a lot, Mr. Satish. Thanks a lot, Mr. Santosh. It's been a wonderful discussion we had. Quite a few things which I thought out. I did myself find quite a few good answers and solutions for what you're thinking. It's been wonderful to have you all. Thank you all once again. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you, everyone. Mr. Goyal, thank you very much. I think I really enjoyed. Generally, kya hota hai na, aisa corporate sessions, we go only with IIM, ISB all. But today I felt very nice about, coming to this place and meeting all of you. I think this itself proved that the kind of a brand which you guys have brought into the forums, platforms, I wish you many more. And I'm looking forward and reach out to me. Real estate is another segment. I myself a faculty, I was telling for corporate real estate, right, globally. So this is a segment, Mr. Goyal, you should think about it. Maybe Coordinate is the right place. I'll ask them to come and give some, volunteer, advice and guest lectures. I'm sure they will do the needful. Thank you. Thank you.
It was indeed a very beautiful discussion. I hope everyone got good insights regarding it. I would request Managing Director, Dean Placements, to join and felicitate the panelist, Ms. Meher. Mr. Satish, Mr. Santosh, Mr. Gaurav, and Professor AVR Madhavan, sir. Mr. Satish. So, got it. Thank you so much. Now I would request my colleague, Ms. Bhavna, to give the vote of thanks.
Thank you, Swati. As we draw this marketing conclave event on exploring innovative strategies on tomorrow's marketing landscape to a close, it's my privilege and honor to propose a heartfelt vote of thanks on behalf of GIBS Business School. First and foremost, I extend our deepest gratitude to our distinguished panelists, and keynote speakers whose insightful contributions have enriched our understanding of marketing and innovative strategies in the workplace. Your expertise and willingness to share your knowledge and experiences have been invaluable to us. Thank you for your time, your wisdom, and students in our audience. Thank you for gracing us with your presence. Your active participation in discussions and your commitment to staying abreast of the latest marketing trends are commendable. Your role in molding the marketing landscape is pivotal, and we are grateful for your continued support. I would like to express a sincere appreciation to our MD, Mr. Ritesh Goyal, who has always been the guiding light of our institution. Your vision, leadership, and unwavering support have made events like these possible, fostering an environment of academic excellence and industry relevance. My heartfelt gratitude towards Mr. Bharat Gopalan, Chief Process Officer, Mr. Ravi, Director of Administration, Mr. Pradeep, Director of Marketing, Mr. Sandeep, Mr. Santosh, and the support staff for the valuable contribution. I thank Dean Placements, Mr. Mohan Raj, for being an influencer, motivator, and a great leader, and the team, Mr. Kiran, Senior Manager Placements and Corporate Relations, and Ms. Kavishri, Corporate Relations. Under them, the placements have been working tirelessly behind the scenes to ensure that our students are well equipped for the demands of the corporate world. Your dedication to nurturing talent and forging meaningful partnerships with the industry is commendable. Thank you for your commitment to our students' success. Last but not least, I want to acknowledge the efforts of my teammates and the students coordinator. Your enthusiasm, hard work, and commitment to the success of this conclave have been truly inspiring. You are the future leaders of our institution, and we are proud to see you take on such responsible roles. I once again say to all the attendees, thank you for your active participation, engaging discussions, and eagerness to learn. Your presence has added immense value to this event. In closing, I would like to emphasize that this marketing conclave has been a remarkable journey of knowledge, sharing, and collaboration. The insights gained today will undoubtedly shape the way we approach marketing in the ever evolving world. Let's carry these learnings forward, inspiring innovation and transformation in our respective roles and organizations. Thank you once again to everyone who contributed to the success of this event. Let us continue to work together in our quest for excellence and relevance in the world of marketing. I wish you all continued success and growth. Thank you. I request all the guests to head to the conference hall in the reception area. Okay. How do I give this?